And so we are just, trying to touch base and talk about the week ahead of trading, right? So here it is. It's Sunday. Last week, I was working, with the RSA event going on in San Francisco, and I figured such a beautiful weekend. I noticed there was a lot of people that were, a bit down because of SoFi, and I figured, hey, look, why not take a mental break, for the week, for the day. The market's gonna be there. The most important things, are our health and family, and so I figured not even gonna talk about the market. However, this week I am. So welcome. You know, welcome to Mucho Menos. All right, the show where I'll give you just a little bit less, and so I'm just messing with you guys, man. I'm gonna give you guys a lot less. Um, so we had some, little excitement during this past week. It seems because of the GME, running. A lot of people that I know in the Discord and in my personal life were excited, and they were asking what to write and how they should go about that. Should they sell? And I'm not. I'm only briefly going to talk about GME because that's not one of my savage picks. It's kind of one of those that a lot of people got involved when it comes to investing because of GME, but that's not really one of the stocks that I'm recommending at all. However, it does hold a special place in my heart because that's how I came across a lot of you people that are watching me from the Discord, and some of you guys that are from my personal life. I did buy GME when it was I don't know, in the $3 $4 area, and I honestly just like the company because I grew up playing video games. I did wrestle in high school and in college, and a lot of the times I had to make weight, right? So making weight sucks because you have to suck weight, right? I was in a very competitive weight class, so I had to drop 15, 20 pounds in a couple of days sometimes. And so anyways, you know, I that's how I play video games a lot to get my mind out of being so hungry when I was making weight. Anyway, so GME was the place where I would go. I go to GameStop and I buy some video games, some used games, and I play Final Fantasy, a lot of RPG games, Dragon Quest. I would, play Street Fighter. I mean, it was just a ton of games, man. Chrono Trigger is a favorite of mine. Chrono Cross. Jesus. Final Fantasy. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, and so on and so forth. And it's just gotten, as I get older, I keep playing, the Xbox, Halo, and so on and so forth. But it's never going to be the way it was when I was, young and coming up. But anyway, so GME has a special place in my heart. And so that's why I bought the stock. I never thought it was going to run the way it did. But anyways, it did happen. And I was fortunate enough to make a few dollars on that. And anyways, I came across a lot of you guys during that time, and so that's why I'm I went back in this week and I bought, I think, 13 80 or 13.90, and then it ran up and I wrote some 15s for this Friday for like $1 or something, and then I rolled them to next week 15s for another $1.70, and now I'm kind of stuck there. And then I rolled some 15s that were supposed to be expiring next week to, I think, June 6th or 7th or something like that. What up, Hot Wing Mike? Happy Mother's Day, Gayo. Yeah, man, you and your family as well. So there you go, Mike. You playing Chrono Trigger too? That's what's up, man. I love that game, man. It was such a good game. It's the story, man. It was just You know, it just all the different endings. You were like, what? So many different endings. Anyhow, so back to GME. I wrote some GME 15s to GME 20s like for June 7th. It's something so short, like 3 weeks, and I ended up getting $1 or like $97 to go. You know, $500 out, and then in price, and I still got money. So like, it's ridiculous what's happening with GME again. A lot of people think we're short squeezing. A little gamma squeeze going on. Um, I don't know. I just know what the stock is doing. I bought at 13.90. If I sell, at 15 or 20, I'm deuces. I'm a happy camper. If for whatever reasons it runs to 30, 40, 50, I'll roll 20s, 30s to like January 2026. I don't care. I'll just take back as much premium. And I think if things happen the way that they're happening right now, and they keep happening, I'm probably gonna have my $13 back in the next week or two, and then it's just gonna be free money riding, on GME, and I'll forget it. I'll go to 2026, and then I'll forget it, and move on to my savage picks. Right? Drink a little water for Mother's Day. Oh yeah. What is Hot Wing Mike is saying? Got Ayla and fighting Dino. Yeah, man. Ayla, dude, she was tough. I love having Ayla on the team, especially whenever you did the Delta attack. I think she was part of the Delta attack, right? Oh man, she was rough. She was tough. Um, Anywho, so that's where we are at with GME, right? If you guys are holding, I suggest that anytime it runs, just if you bought at 13, 14, 15, um, just just take advantage of it, man, because it's gonna keep running. Maybe we don't know what the stock is gonna do, right? So just take advantage of it, of the runs, and get as much premium as you can. I mean, if you can get $3, $4, $5 of premium by rolling out some ridiculous, and you bought at 13, 14, 15, you get $5 of premium. That's your cost basis is now 10. I really don't think that GME is gonna go to 10. But if it happens to go to 10, you can always come back down and get more premium to come back from 15, 20 down to 10s. And then, there's nothing wrong with that at all. So keep milking the cow, I say. All right, so now to the Savage picks, man. What an exciting week it's been, right? It's just it's flabbergasting to me how sometimes, it's all doom and gloom for weeks on end, and then we have a day where the market runs 500-600 points, and then another day another 800 points, and then someone like Microsoft or Tesla has okay earnings, and then the market goes nuts because they have some type of positive guidance telling you that they're going to invent something we don't know, they're working on something we don't know. But the street, it's the street is just so anxious and so hungry for good news that they'll take anything at this point, and they'll just run with it, and then just buy, and people just want to spend money in the stock market, and keep people like myself taking all that wonderful premium. People like you guys that are watching and that write covered calls. Ultimately, that's what this is about. A market that trades sideways is a market that we feast on, right? In a market that's trading sideways, a bearish market, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna keep going down all the time, right? It just means that you'll have days just like during bullish seasons. You'll have bearish days, right? The market just tanks because something happened, some catalyst, or some company had a bad earnings, or they did something where their stock devalued for whatever reasons, and you have like Wall Street just selling off that day. Just like during those bullish seasons, you can have a ridiculously red day. Keep in mind that during the bearish seasons, you can also have bullish days, sometimes weeks, right? But it still doesn't take away from the fact that the stock market is either trading sideways or trading downwards, and that's exactly what you have to take account into account and capitalize on, right? And that's what we do. I'm talking about like people that follow me that I know write cover calls like crazy. You guys have been making thousands and thousands of dollars right now, because Tesla ran for a couple of days, right? And it went to like 180, 190, and then boom, it's back in the 160s, I believe. Let me see. Where's Tesla? 167.50. That's where it's trading at, right? Imagine those of you guys that wrote some 70s, some 170s, and 180s. Somebody that bought in the 139, 138 area just a couple of weeks back when there was a sell off. And you guys, 140s, 150s even. And then you guys wrote 170s, 160s. Or somebody that held, from the 140s to 180s, and you're just killing them right now because you were able to go, and ask for something that's like way above what you paid. So, uh, I don't know. I just I'm really really excited because I sold some cash secure puts when Tesla was in the 130s, 140s, right? And it's just at this point they're just decaying. I'm gonna do absolutely nothing. They expire in 2025 on January. So at this point, I'm just I'm waiting to get taken out. What do we have here? How we might got Isla fighting Dino, Chrono Ayla, and Frog. Yeah, that's the Delta attack. I remember. Um, Ashtamom. Hey, Ashtamom, how you doing? How we might GME average 893, and they wanted to buy them at 15. Sure, take me. Yeah, man. See, if you bought at the nines, I sold some cash secure puts when it hit the nines, and I think I went down to 2025. And it's just I just bought them back. I bought them back. I believe Wednesday. Or Thursday, and I'm sitting. I'm right now. I have that powder just sitting on the sideline because I think we're going to take a couple of more hits. I've been buying Unity. Unity had earnings, right, and that's one of my savage picks. Unity had earnings, and they didn't have bad earnings, and it's just that just goes to show you. We don't know what a stock is going to do. A company could have good earnings and go down, and a company could have bad earnings like Tesla and go up. You never know, right? So it's just that's why we sell covered calls. Imagine if you would have just not been just holding SoFi, right? When they had earnings, and on that Friday you sold $8 covered calls for August or September, October, and you took in $1.25, $1.50, $1.75 for those covered calls. Right now, those are worth like 50 cents, 60 cents. You would have made a killing on 10,000 shares. That's over $15,000, right? That's what the market is giving you at this point. Don't try to time the market. I have a lot of buddies. That they're really good when it comes to charting, and there's nothing wrong. I mean, you should if you're going to invest, your hard-earned cash on the stock market, you have to know what RSI lines are, right? You have to know how to read a graph. It would help you greatly, but you should not place all of your hopes on some graph because there's so many other variables that come into account when it comes to a specific security. And so, take everything with a grain of salt. I just think that right now, let's talk Tesla, right? Tesla's 167.50. It's downtrending. We've known that. I've been saying that for a couple of months. Tesla's downtrending. People didn't like to hear. They were like, it was just 300. It's going to go back to 200. And I'm like, it can't go back to 200 because the Cyber sucks, right? It's honestly like the biggest black eye on Tesla right now. There's so many more things that are happening with the Cybertruck. You know, I had a buddy of mine who was like, "Oh, look at the Cybertruck. This, if you put your finger right here in this door, it's gonna sense it and it's gonna stop." And he put his hand there, it fucking crushed it. So it's like, that's just, it's an example. I mean, there's actually a lot of I don't know if you guys are on TikTok, but there's a lot of videos that people have put up where Tesla is just shit the bed. They're just dying in the middle of the road. They just turn off and they won't turn on, and then they have to send, you know, technicians over to see them. The technicians are like beyond my fucking pay grade, so then they'll send somebody else. Then they have to fly somebody in to fix the. Come on, man. Some people paid $140,000, $130,000 for this car, and they've driven it 150 miles and it's taking a shit. I mean, that's Tesla, right? So, not saying so. Like, I'm not trying to bash Tesla. Let's just make that clear. I like the company. Okay, I hold it. Bad business decision when it came to the Cybertruck. I just think they weren't ready. I think it was just Elon. He drew it. I think he fucking got high and took some sketches one day and took a ruler and started coloring, and then he was like, "Oh my god, this looks great." And he told, people that work for him, "Hey, make this happen." And they did. That's what happens when you're a billionaire. You have so much money that you have your own factories, right? You could just make shit happen, and then you have all these fanboys, that are just looking to be like you, Elon, or looking for at what he does or what he buys or whatever, and then just they want to be the cool kid. They put their money on a Cybertruck, and now it sucks, and now they're selling it, and I think that's what's happening with Tesla. We're still feeling downward pressure. Let's see, what do I see when it comes to options with Tesla? Okay, let's check out their option chain here. What if I wanted to go and do some options for, you know what, this is not letting me do it for some reason. This is not letting me do it for some reason, but let's just check it out here. Options. There we go. Goodness gracious. Man, it's super hot here in California, especially here in the Bay Area for me right now. I don't know you guys, but I have my fan on. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's kind of it's kind of hot in here, and I don't know if my AC is taking a shit. So all right, let's look at the July 175s, 180s, right? You guys could catch some nice premium right there. Taking $10, right? You buy Tesla at 167, you bought it at 150, right? And you want to sell some 170s. There's nothing wrong with spending $15,000 and getting, $3,000 more than what you spent, and then getting another $1,000, for that option. There's nothing wrong with that. Go to 2025, taking a bigger, a bigger chunk of change, right? You bought it, 167, and you're selling at 180, 190, and then go to January. Ask for whatever it's giving you. Just ask for $15, $10. There's nothing wrong with that. And then if for whatever reasons Tesla happens to run and it goes to like 200, oh well, you're at 180, then go from 180 to 190 2026. And if you want to go to 200, in 2026 December, there's that option that's open right now. So then, now you're selling at 200, you're taking in more premium, right? You bought at 150, you bought at 160. The point of the game, right, is to make money. You spend $15,000, $16,000, and you're going to sell for $20,000, and you bring in another $2,000, $3,000 in premiums. What is wrong with that? There's absolutely nothing wrong with that at all. Who is going on here? Dude, hey, dude, what's going on, man? Yes, sir. Let's go. We're getting ready for another day, man. Burrow King Sound. Burrow King Sound. Burrow King Sound. What up, man? How you doing? All right. So, yeah, man. So, Tesla, I'm bullish on Tesla long term, right? I think in the short term, there's a lot of headwinds, right? Especially with just all this negative backlash with the Cybertruck. I honestly don't think they were ready. And I think they got caught with their pants down. It doesn't help that one of your high executives is selling stock, right? And for whatever reasons, could be tax reasons, it could be other types of liabilities. But what are you gonna do? You're basically just going to at this point be holding the bag, and that's what you don't want to do. As a long-term investor, if you want to just hold the stock, I guess you can. But at this point, why wouldn't you want to get paid for holding your stock? Make it pay you rent. You know what I mean? Make it pay you rent. It's going to be on your portfolio. You might as well make it pay you some rent money. That's the way I look at my stock. Like, if you're going to be in my portfolio, right, and you're just going to sit there, I might as well get something out of it. And when you're long, man, I just, if you bought Tesla at 250, 240, and you're just waiting for it to go back up to sell cover, average down. Average down is the best advice I can give you. A lot of people were asking me, why am I buying Matterport, like the last year? Because Matterport went to like $2, $3. It was $40 at a point. I bought it at like a 15, 16, right? I think I bought at 20 at some point when it ran to like, I don't know. Anyway, so I was very bullish on the stock, the company. I still am, but they just got bought out, right? Imagine if I wouldn't have averaged down and I would have kept an average of like $15, $14. And they get bought out, and now they're getting bought out for $275 cash and $275 stock. That's $550. I take a massive loss. Now I could always use that loss as tax loss harvesting, right? I could use it against my my hard-earned money during the year to offset, right? But I didn't want to do that. I knew that I liked the company and that something had to give, right? And I averaged down to like 240s, like, I don't know, 20,000 shares. And it now got bought out for $550. So I'm more than doubling my money, and I just sit on my hands now. I just sold, I think, 200 covered calls to sell at $550 for January, and I took 15 cents. I took 15 cents per contract, right, per share. That was a nice chunk of change that I was not expecting. And now, if say what for whatever reasons the person gets assigned those shares, I take $550, times 20,000, and I'll happily take my $100,000 plus and sell cash secure puts on either Tesla, Unity, AI, whatever. It doesn't matter. I could take some of that money because I've made money on the transaction since my average was 240, and I'm getting bought out at 550. I can then take like 1/3 of that money and I'll just pay bills with it. I'll put it down towards the principal of my house. Make it tangible, right? I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I used some of my money from last year to buy a beautiful refrigerator that gives me sphere of ice. And I know I talk about that, but I love it. I love my spheres of ice, man. They're really, really cool. I like my Manhattans in a sphere of ice. It tastes different. All right, and it looks much prettier. And I never knew that I would need that, but I did. And look at what happened. Right, I was able to buy it with cash, covered call money. Anyways, what do we got here? Premium option. Who's this savage guy? Does he take everything from him and leave him nothing? I do. What's up, Poto? That is what I heard, Mr. Premium of the option. Mariah, how you doing, Mariah Powell? As I think you talk too much. I do talk a lot, man. But it is my channel. That's one of the cool things about having your own channel. You can talk all you want, and if people want to listen, they can. If not, that's cool too. I have some stuff to say, and you know, I make some good picks, and I help people make some money, and that's what it is. So it's not a problem. But thank you for watching. And giving me your valuable, precious time. And if you want to make some money, I'm not charging you anything. I'm not saying to send me anything. I do this just because I want to give back in some way, shape, or form. Because at some point, somebody took some time to teach this shit to me, and I've made money with it. And although yes, at some point I paid for some courses and for things to click right, I'm okay. If one day maybe I decide that my time is more valuable and there's a lot going on, and I'm like, hey, maybe I'm just gonna start making money off of this. Maybe we never know, but for right now, I'm good. I'm just trying to tell people, this is what I see the stock market doing. And if they want to listen, cool. If not, that's cool. But anyway, so like I said, Tesla, sell some 170 covered calls for July. This is not financial advice. This is just me saying what I would do, if I was in the position where, let's say, I held 100 shares of Tesla, right? I would totally sell 170s, 175s, 180s for August and take in a big chunk of change, right? And then just let's see what the stock does. I don't know what the stock is going to do. I think it's going downtrending. I think we're in a bearish market, but again, I'm not for sure. I mean, it's not like I know exactly what's going to happen. This is my hypothesis, right? It's an educated opinion based on all the variables and data that I have. But it could go up. We don't know that. So 170. It's 180s. Beautiful to write, some cover calls for, like I said, July, August, and make some money. Let's see here. Quiet yourself. Library rules. Hey, library rules. Bruce taught me how to write, but you go find your own road to wealth. It goes. We are on the same journey. It goes. Yeah, man. I agree. So I knew about cover calls, and I knew about cash secure puts. I did used to work in finance for a money management firm in San Francisco, right? And I was in the research division, and I interned there and all that stuff. But this is something that people were doing that were older, and it was above my head because I never cared. I like to see the graphs. I like to see what the support levels were, because that's what the excitement is, right? The trading, everyday trading. And this is the boring shit, right? What we do is boring. But you know what? There's a lot of money in boring. Wealthy people like boring. You know who likes boring? Everybody's bosses like boring. Do you think they like excitement when it comes to their companies? Do you think investment bankers like an exciting day? No, they like things to fucking keep working the way they've been working because they got wealthy like that. And they're like, let's just keep the train running the same way. So anyways, Tesla's downtrending. I say it's going to touch the 150s again. But if it does, sell some cash secure puts, right? And go far out. Go to like June. Go to 2025, right? Go to 2026. Take a big chunk. If you have an extra few bucks that you want to keep on the sideline. It's nothing wrong with that. Now, if you want to have more excitement and do monthlies, I guess you can as well. And you can just buy, Tesla's at 167 right now. Buy 160s. A cash secure put for 160, right, for July, and pray that you get put those shares. And once you get put those shares, right, wait for a little green day and then write a covered call for like 165, 170, and start off, and right to get taken out. Right to get taken out. That's one thing that I would love to convey to people that are listening is like, don't fear people taking your stock. It's not your stock. Where does it live in your house? Do you have a box where you can go and grab it and show it to people? Is that it? No, it's not. It's just a company. It's just like it's a device, that you're using to make more money. The stock market is, and so, anyways, it's just a way to create some cash flow, right? And so, let's say you sold some Tesla's 170s and you get taken out. You bought a 150. What's wrong with that? You made money. Now sell some cash secure puts, just like that. So some people like weeklies, and there's nothing wrong with that. If you like to actually see the percentages, if you do weeklies, you'll actually make more money in the long run in a year than if you sell like 3 months out, 4 months out, and so on and so forth. But you have to take care of the stock a lot more. You have to be watching it every day. And I don't like that. I like to just place my, covered calls, and I like to go on with my life. And you guys know I'm a house husband, so I take care of my kids. I make, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I have to bathe them, right? I have to make sure that they're clean. I have to clean the house. I have to, take the kids out to the park. I have to have some time for myself and, keep my sanity by watching a couple of movies. When the kids take a nap, I like to watch some horror films and so on and so forth. My wife also, I like to dedicate her some time. So whenever, the kids are asleep, her and I will have some snacks and a beer together or a glass of wine, and we'll just talk about, stuff. And so, this gives me freedom to do that. If, for whatever reasons, something happened where my wife lost her job, we'll be fine because, we have portfolios where we can fall back on and we feel that we can make a nice chunk of change monthly. But then I'll revisit then. But right now, I'm just, taking big chunks of change by going 6 weeks out or more, maybe 6 to 2 months. Took me a long time to stop going for weekly sales, but longer term equals better sleep at night. Mike Hill. You're right, Mike Hill. I agree. Jabroni Brains. What up, Savage? I'm good, brother. How you doing, man? Big ups from California, my man. Mike Hill. Sofa volatility like an abusive girlfriend. I like abusive girlfriends. I like SoFi, man. It's just it keeps making me money. I'm not gonna shy away from that. I like it. Okay, buds. See you in the morning. Peace out, my man. Hang loose. Yep. Tesla downtrending. Not going to 300 anytime soon. No squeeze. Take all the money that you can right now. Cash secure puts at 150. If it runs, sell some 70s, some 80s. I like to go 2-3 months out, get a big chunk of change, rinse and repeat. Let's go to SoFi, since somebody mentioned SoFi. The abusive girlfriend of the bunch, right? What can I say about SoFi that hasn't already been said about an abusive ex-boyfriend, right? it just keeps trading sideways, SoFi a couple of weeks ago was 740, and we all thought it was going to go to 9 or 10. I mean, myself included, which is why I sold $10 covered calls, right? I sold 10s, man. I should have sold 8s and 9s, but you start listening to that FUD. I took 1/3 of those, right, of those covered calls, and I was a little more aggressive. But God, in hindsight, I wish 2/3 I would have been aggressive on because I'd take more money off of the table. All those calls that I sold right now are like 40, 50% in. I think my tens that I sold for like I don't know 85 cents or 89 cents, something like that. They're like they broke 49 the other day. So it's just I'm just gonna let them decay, man, because I really do believe May 27th or May 29th is when the those cap call transactions are going to get called in, right? And so I think those mature. Something happens on that date. I can't. I have to read like the whole like spiel, and but long story short, there's gonna be some downward pressure. So I'm probably gonna buy all my cover calls on that date when SoFi goes to perhaps six. You know, may see the fives. If we see like 580s, 570s, I would not be surprised. Um, but I am very excited because I'm holding a lot of cash on the sidelines right now. So if we were to see 580s, 570s, I would go and buy 1,000 share blocks. And I'm totally okay with that because I'll be averaging down and I'll be just adding. I'm kind of like Vanguard, investing, like the Vanguard ETF, right? And BlackRock. I'm just buying shares and putting them on a vault. I'm not going to sell. I mean, I'm if I get taken out because I write covered calls, I'm just gonna go back in the market and sell some cash secure puts until I get a sign, and then keep going because it's a long term investment for me. SoFi is a 10-year investment for me. If you look at companies like Amazon and Microsoft, right? Those companies, they were $20 at some point, and they stayed at $20 for a long time. They were $30, $40 for a long time, and it's not until like the last 8 years that they ran, right? That's SoFi. It's just one of those things where I compare it to like a boxer, right? Like nobody wants to do the work. Everybody wants to win the world championship belt, right? But it's the slow grind, right? It's waking up at 5 in the morning and going for runs when everybody else is asleep. It's doing those 1,000 sit-ups and 1,000 push-ups. It's getting hit in the face repeatedly, by somebody that's sparring with you. When you don't want to train and you force yourself to get up and train when you don't want to, like those are the days that suck. Right? That's where we're at with SoFi. It's that equivalent. It's just those slow grinding days when we just like, fuck, not again, right? And it just you have to go through the gauntlet, man. Big companies have to load up. We're right now at 40%, right? Um, I think that you know, until we are at 50% of ownership for like companies like BlackRock and Vanguard and Bank of America, Chase, and so on and so forth, until they load 50% or more and they lock it away, there's just gonna be too much stock available, and we're not. I mean, 18% short interest. I mean, it means nothing, man. I mean, AI is at 30% short interest. It's just it's too much stock available at this point, right? And people keep selling. So let's see, Jabroni Brains. Oh yeah, what's up? You doing? But to use a girlfriend, it must be why I like SoFi abusive girl. Dude, yeah, dude, I get it. Great boxer analogy. Yeah, man, it's just the slow grind. Nobody wants to do it, right? But it has to get done. It has to get done. So you have to just days like last week that sucked. You have to just bite the bullet and just keep averaging down. Sell some cash secure puts, right? Sell some sixes, for like 2021. I mean 2025, right? Sell some eights. I don't know. Sell some sevens. SoFi will be a $20 stock probably in the next 2 years, but we don't know just when it's going to take that run, right? We do know that every quarter that they have earnings, they're just fucking blowing it out of the water, right? They're having really good numbers. You know, EBITDA is great. You know, forward looking, it's looking good. Very well managed company. We know it. But the street is saying that SoFi right now, um, SoFi is worth 694. That's what the street is saying. You know, now we can get mad and go scream at at the rain, right? But what is it gonna do? Nothing. What do you do though? You buy at 694. If you just started, thinking about jumping in with SoFi, sell some $7 cash secure puts for like July. Take him some nice chunk of change, right? Put those shares, and take the premium. So you can you can buy at a specific price point, but you've already taken some money off the top. So your average is not going to be 694. It's going to be, I mean, $7 on paper, right? But if you got 30 or 40 cents, you really paid 660, and then you can use that money to buy more SoFi. And just keep going. If you own SoFi, it's right now. I think it'll be okay to sell some $7. If your average is in the sixes, sell some sevens. If your average is in the sevens, sell some eights for August. And take some money, because we're gonna go down. Late May, we're going down. I see it. I see the weakness. People may not see what I see, but that's fine. It's again my personal opinion, and this is not like me giving you any type of financial advice. It's just what I'm seeing. When it comes to the stock, it's downtrending and it's weak, and there's going to be some dilution that's going to happen, and that's just my prerogative, right? So I'm gonna just keep holding on to my covered calls, and I'm gonna buy then, and then I'm perhaps gonna wait for next earnings. And I'm gonna wait, and I'm probably gonna sell some eights for 2024. We'll see what the stock gives me, right? We'll see what the market at, and I'm okay selling at 9, right? And if I get taken out at 9 again, I'm just gonna go cash secure put my ass to death until I get a sign, and then keep going. But don't be scared to ride on SoFi, guys. Even Uncle Bruce has been saying to people that it's okay to. I don't know why he's saying to write fives. I told him I don't agree with that. Like, why would you take a loss, right? But if your average is 6 or 7, sell eights, sell nines. If your average is 8, 9, sell tens. Take some money off the table. Make it worthwhile, right? Dude, let's see. Dude, I have been in 7, 750s, 8s, 9s since earnings. I like to scatter my calls on SoFi, though I'm sticking to month right now. That way I can roll and out in time if there is a run. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, as long as you're making it work for you, right? And you're taking money off of the table, great. Okay? It's just back holding that I don't like. It's like you're just hoping, like, you're no better than a kid waiting for Christmas at that point, right? Like, is Santa gonna show up? Were you good? I don't know. So, take some money off the table and do something with it, man. Buy some more shares. I like it. It's all right. Premium. That darn 6 gift size collects something. I like it. That's my favorite character, man. My favorite DC character, man. The Joker it's just he's insane. But he's just extremely intelligent in his insanity. And there's always like he can always bring it to like a specific point, and his thesis is just profound, and I like it. All right, let's see here. 6, Mario Powell, Beach Boy, Savages on Fire. Beach Boy, what's up, Beach Boy? Yeah, man, I'm on fire because it's hot today. And it's like 80 degrees here. I haven't turned on the AC. I forgot to turn on the AC, I think. So I got my fan going here, but I don't know how much is working. So I'm gonna drink some very cold water. Anyways, when it comes to SoFi, it didn't help that the CTO sold right before earnings, right? And that's things that I see. I know it's a good company, right? We see the metrics, but it just doesn't help. It's not a good look. right? Idiots keep selling. I always say that. Like idiots keep selling in the sevens, like in the 750s. Like I don't know why you would sell SoFi. I see why you would write covered calls, but I don't see why you would sell SoFi. Um, Kathy Wood keeps adding, man, and I understand some people may not like Kathy Wood, but she has her own ETF funds for a reason. She's smart. She knows where the money is, right? All these people at the top, they all know each other. They know the deal. And she's not investing in SoFi to lose money, let me tell you. She's not investing in Tesla to lose money, let me tell you. All right? She's looking to fucking hit home runs and 10x, 20x her money and then fucking take that money out later on and put it elsewhere where another company that she sees, it's going to turn a profit, the next SoFi is going to be. Um, and why is Vanguard, buying? Anthony Noto just bought more. But see, this is the thing. It's tricky because Anthony Noto buys SoFi, and have you guys noticed? Look at the charts. Whenever Anthony Noto buys, a month later or so, the stock goes up, right? So I'm thinking that he's buying at this point, but I think in June, I think we start to recover a little bit. Um, and I'm excited to see, which is why I'm going to buy all my covered calls after all this dilution talk in the May 27th to 29th timeline. Because I'm very curious to see what happens. Because I think that's going to happen again. I think that the stock is going to start recovering in June, in July maybe, and then we'll have earnings right again, and we'll see what happens then. But if the stock is in the $8 area, I'm gonna sell some nines. If the stock is in the nine area, I'm gonna sell tens. If it's in the seven area, I'm selling eights, and so on and so forth. Because that's just how I roll. Stock needs to pay me money. What do I think SoFi will do this week? Same thing, man. It's gonna go up to like 7:30, right? Like Monday or Tuesday, and then it'll just go back down, and it'll go back up to 710 later on, and then back to 690. We may even see 680. Don't be afraid if you see 670s. That's very strong support. 670, 660 is very strong support. So I'm dipping my toes in the water. If I see that, probably gonna go in for a couple of hundred shares. Why not? But I mean I don't see it going to $8. That's for sure. But anything can happen, right? All right, let's see here. Mike Gill, Noto has timed the bottom before. Yeah, I agree. He's smart. Noto's very smart, man. He used to work for Goldman Sachs for a fucking reason. Jabroni Brains. What products do you use a SoFi app, Savage? Checking, savings. I use checking, savings. I got the credit card. And so thinking about, I don't know, maybe taking out a car loan with them to get a Rivian. We don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see, because we may buy it outright. But I mean, I want to deal with SoFi because I want to give them my money, right? I like a company. I want to give them my money because I want a company to go up. And I'm totally okay with that. I buy GME. I told you guys because I like the company. I usually invest in the companies that I own because I want them to do well, right? And I think you guys should as well. I think he was within a few cents of that 424 print. Yeah, I agree. Beach Boy has $8 covered calls out for August and November and January. Smart move. If your average is lower than 8, I don't see how that's a problem. I like that. I like that a lot. 670 lovely for covered calls. Yeah, 670 is lovely. I agree. 670, 660, and I buy my covered calls back. Or I let them depreciate even more because I'm in no hurry. I give them nothing, man. I'm trying to give them as little back as possible. I take everything from these idiots, buying these covered calls and trying to time the market, which is It's ridiculous to me, but thank you, gamblers. Thank you so much. Jabroni brains love it. Yeah, man. I just it's what I see. All right, here we go. Analysts. Yeah, man. Analysts have SoFi anywhere from like $4, right? That Chia Pet moved his strike 33%, right, from $3 to 4. It's a big jump. I think a couple of other analysts revised and they went from 14 to 15, and so like I mean that needs to happen, right? And then somewhere in between, that's the real price. So when we have somebody say SoFi is 20, and then some other dummy saying SoFi is really $6-7, that means that the price is really 10, 13, right? That's what we wanted. And I just can't wait to write on SoFi when it's like $15, $20. Because at that point, I'll be taking $3, $4 per share. I mean, oh my God. Like, I don't know about you guys, but if I can make $30,000 or $40,000 every 2-3 months on SoFi, that's averaging like, $10,000 a month. Um, just SoFi alone, that's good, right? That's good. I would definitely, I still sell AI. I still got Unity. I still got Roblox. You guys, I still have Rivian. I mean, I have all these other companies, but if one company can bring you $10,000, $20,000, every couple of months, man, that's a living wage. That's you can retire on that money because you really can. You can retire. You could just sell cover calls for a living. I'm probably gonna still work because I just like what I do, and I don't work all the time. I have a pretty good schedule, and so but that's just me. However, if it got to the point where I'm making $30,000 a month, selling covered calls, and then the stress level is very low, I don't see how I would keep working. I can't justify it, right? Maybe just to get the medical, and then I'll be done. So I can make medical in a month. Yeah, whatever. All right, let's see here. Dude, got some expiring on the 24th. Give them nothing. Yeah, give them nothing. Let them expire worthless. Why even bother paying that 3 cent fee or 10 cent fee? Makes no sense. All right, here we go. Rivian, right? Rivian. That's another savage pick. I know some of you guys started to dabble into Rivian. It's $9.95 at the moment. They had earnings, and earnings were not spectacular. But check this out. You see how Rivian didn't tank to like 7 or 6 because it's a good company. They have really good trucks. The catalyst for me was the fact that Rivian has signed a contract with Tesla, which is why I like Tesla. Tesla's not a car company. They happen to sell cars, yes, but Tesla is an energy company. The biggest companies in the world are energy companies. You guys can Google that shit. I don't want to do it, but you guys can. Those companies are Exxon, Chevron, right? Shell. That's Tesla. Tesla's signing contracts with other EV makers now so that they can use their infrastructure so they can charge their cars. Rivian did that. That's why I'm bullish on Rivian, because Rivian doesn't have to spend money now just growing the Rivian infrastructure, because now they can fall back on Tesla infrastructure, and they can now take all that money for R&D and to build, better trucks. Rivian SUVs are very sexy. Very, very sexy. And I'm going to get one. But I'm just trying to find out what would be the best time and the best price, because I don't want to pay $100,000 just yet. I honestly think it can go to 80. Rivian can go to 80, maybe 70. And I think then I really seriously will have to probably put in my order. But I would like to buy Rivian with Rivian covered call money. And that's the goal, man. But yes, Rivian is a good company. $10, 9.95 right now. If you buy Rivian, you can sell some $10 cash secure puts at this point for July. Take a nice chunk of change and then buy Rivian for like $9. You know, you could buy them outright right now, um, and sell some 12.50 cash secure. I mean covered calls for August or October, and take in a buck or two, um, and then start like that. I mean, you buy at 10, and you're willing to sell at 12.50. That's a 25%, return on investment plus whatever you're gonna get, which is probably gonna be anywhere from 15 to 20%, um, for selling the covered calls. So let's say worst case scenario, you make 35-40% of return on your investment. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all, because no bank in their right mind will give you that percentage back for you putting away $1,000 um, in a bank for 6 months. Uh, what is your side gigs, Jabroni Brains? The tech industry, right? So I'm just I go in. I'm a mercenary, and so I go in and I tell people that I can do this better than my competitor, um, and so I get paid well. I get paid 3 times what I used to get paid when I used to work for a company, and I like it because I work 25% of the time now, and I make probably just as much money, if not way more, than what I was doing before, and which is why I'm able um, to stay home with my kids, and I was able to do so because I started selling covered calls, and so that at first like I was kind of nervous because I was like, I don't know if that's going to offset the cost, right? But you keep doing it, and then once you start seeing that money, right, get bigger and bigger, you start going from 5, 6 covered calls to 10 covered calls, and then 15, and then 20, and then 25. That's when it really starts to sink in. And then when you get 100 covered calls and you sell 100 covered calls, and you see all that volume, and you're like, shit, that's when you really start seeing, a return on your investment. But I mean, it starts with one, right? So that's why I tell people, just get 100 shares. People are like, what if I got, hey, see, or what if I just, what if I bought $500, the stock market, and because they don't know, right? People just say, what if I have $1,000? And it's like, I laugh because I used to think that way when in college. I was like, I think I told the lady that the lady whose company I worked for, right, before I interned, I was like, what if I was to give you $10,000? And she was very respectful. She was like, well, um, it's just we don't deal with that type of funds and whatnot, and it's one of those things that you kind of have to figure out and really see if that's what you want to do. And investing is one of those things that takes a little bit of skill, and you have to put the effort and the time to learn so you don't get yourself in trouble. And then I started working for them, and I realized that the smallest account that you can have with them to open up, for them to even look at you and open up a portfolio, right, with them, you need $10 million. So when I said $10,000, I just, I felt like so small when I realized that. But she was so classy, man. She was never disrespectful. This was years after, by the way. So I love the way that this lady, she's one of the best people I ever know in my life, and she's the one that taught me about charts, and how to like research and stuff, and that's why every company that I have in the Savage, picks, I've done over 100 hours of research on, because she taught me how to research, and she didn't have to, right? She could have said go to business school, figure it out, but she didn't. And this is a very wealthy individual. I'm saying this lady used to make 30 million a year easily, and her husband it's even richer. That's all I gotta say about that. He's like a he's like a senior partner at a hedge fund. Let me tell you, they make money. They own like this huge, beautiful house in like the most expensive area in San Francisco, and it's just they're really nice people, very nice people, very courteous, and so I'm glad, and this is one of the reasons I have this channel is because people like her took the time where they didn't have to explain something to me that I didn't understand, and so that's why, you know, I'm here anyway. So idiots will keep selling, you know, SoFi, keep buying it anywhere in the below 70s. It's a gift. If for whatever reasons we end up seeing, you know, the 580, 570 area, you know, in late May, just back up the truck. I'm backing up the truck. All right, Palantir, another savage pick. Palantir. You know, they just had earnings, and I was able to sell some 25 covered calls, $25 covered calls for January, and was able to get $5 for them. And I sold some 27.50s, and I got $4 for them. And now it's Palantir after earnings is 2051. Ah, ah, ah. So now I'm gonna wait a couple of months for decay to happen, right? That time, that time, man, that data is gonna burn. And so I'm gonna buy back those $5 cover calls for maybe $1.50. Those fours, probably gonna buy back for, you know, like under $1. You know, so we'll see what the stock gives us, right? But for the most part, I'm not trying to give them nothing. I'm totally okay doing nothing and then just having Palantir, you know, get taken out of my portfolio for $25 a share and $27.50 a share because my average is like $8. So, you know, I don't care. um, so if you want to get on Palantir and you want to get on the gravy train, it's got some good premiums. Um, there's nothing wrong with selling some $20 cash secure puts for July, August. Bring in $1, $1.50, $2 if you can, right? You know, set your bid out there, and then you know you'll be surprised. Sometimes you get taken out, but start the game, right? Sell some 20s, and or you could just go right out and then just buy the stock where it's at. You know, 2051, and then sell some 22.50s for July, August, October. I don't know. You know, try to bring in $1 or $2 and then start your game, right? Because I think it was one of those where again they had okay earnings, but you know it's one of those where you don't know what the stock is gonna do, right? So and then this is one of the things you have to take into account with SoFi. It's like even if SoFi was to have a stellar numbers, right? If the street doesn't like it, it's still gonna go down, and that's what you have to take into account and sell your covered calls when it comes to SoFi, right? Um, Palantir's, you know, it's one of those companies that I think is gonna be $50 sooner rather than later. It was just $7, you know, and so it's run so much that I think it's a cool off period. It's one of those companies that is very well ran, and it's going to be probably worth, you know, $50, like I said, sooner rather than later. And in some 5 years, 10 years, is going to be $100 a share. But you know, it needs to get, you know, to 30 first, and I don't think it's going to see 30 this year. Maybe, I mean, if they have ridiculous earnings next, you know, earning call, yeah, it's not going to hold it. Um, which is why you need to start selling cover calls on it, right? And making money because it's got some good premiums. That's one of the savage picks, and I like it. I really like it. Um, Unity. All right, let's talk about Unity now. Unity is one of those companies that I really really like. They just had earnings, and sure enough, sold some cash secure puts. Because it's saw 21 and change. I think selling some $20 cash secure puts is cool. Or buy the stock at 21. Put in a stink bid for 21.05, right, or 21.51, something like that, and then once you get the shares, sell some 22.50s for October. Bring in $2, $3. It's possible. And then you automatically, you start the process yourself, right? And start making money. Unity is a very well run company. It's a great platform. Game developers absolutely love it, right? And it's just one of those things where the market as a whole is taking a beating. So this is when we load up. This is when we load up. Because once we run, we're gonna run. And I think there's a few things happening this week. I think we have a CPI, PPI, right? There's a couple of other happenings this week, but I think those numbers are going to be weak. I think that the market's going to go down a bit, and we're just going to start at this point praying that there's an interest rate cut at some point, and then when that happens, we have to then reevaluate things, right? But for the time being, Unity is 2180, right? And so I think um, you have to get it where it's at right now because it's a very attractive price. This is like a 52-week low, almost. And so if you like Unity at 25 and 27, why wouldn't you like it at 2180? It's just something that always baffles me is when people say, "Oh, I like Unity, but I'm waiting till it gets to 25 to buy." It's like, what the fuck are you doing? It's 2180. Why are you gonna wait for 25? I want the stock to recover. Why? Buy it where it is. It's fucking stupid to me when I hear people say, "I want to see some positive trends." It's like, it's what are you talking about? You buy low, sell high. That's the name of the game. So like, I just it's one of those things, right? That I just don't. I'll never understand. And I mean, I get it. I guess people want to be like, I want to minimize risk, but it's like the shit's at 52-week lows right now. Like that's minimizing risk right there. Like it cannot go any more, further down unless like some catastrophic shit happens with the company. But the company's fundamentals are the same. SoFi, company fundamentals are the same. AI, Palantir, company fundamentals are the same. GME, company fundamentals are the fucking same. So there's nothing that has changed except the stock market is fucking bearish right now. So like I don't understand why people are like I just want the stock to recover. So there's it's that's a buy signal. You know what my buy signal is? Fucking lower than my average is. I see something 15, 20% lower than my average, I go and I buy some. And if it goes lower, I go and I buy some more. Because we don't know what it's gonna do, right? But I know that if I liked it at $25, why wouldn't I fucking like it at 21.80? It makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. Sell some cash secure puts. If you're really bullish on it, you want to get assigned, sell something for like July, June, get those shares put to you and then start selling some covered calls. Take big chunks. I like big chunks. You could do weeklies if you want. Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's see here. With Mike, sometimes the market is going to be an asshole. Be one. That's exactly it. And that's it. That's why I'm an asshole when I sell covered calls. I always go like 51 cents out. And like, if you want to get it, I don't know. I think with Matterport, I put in something, a covered call that I wanted to sell. It was like 10 of them. And it was like 51 cents. And I put 151 just for be a dick. It triggered. I don't know how it triggered, but it triggered. And I even went on the Uncle Bruce show and I was like, Uncle Bruce, what just happened? Because like, It's just those 10 covered calls that got sold at 151. And I just did it just to fucking do it. And it triggered. So like I got the money, I got the premium, like, and then I just let those calls go down, and then eventually I think I bought them back like at 15 cents or something ridiculous. But like it can happen. Just put in a statement, something ridiculous, something fucking dumb that you would say, I would never buy this, but I assure you some dummy will. Uh the Unity price range, Beach Boy. Um 2180 to wherever its 52-week high was, Beach Boy. That's the price. that's the range in my opinion. I don't know what the stock is gonna do. You don't know what it's gonna do. Warren Buffett doesn't know what it's gonna fucking. Every time I hear that, I want to guide you guys to see the Wolf of Wall Street. Great movie. I fucking love it. It's a great entertaining movie. I love Leonardo DiCaprio. I fucking fanboy that dude because he's a great actor. But there's a scene with Matthew McConaughey, right, where he's telling Leonardo DiCaprio's character that they're having some drinks and they're gonna get shit faced, and he's like, hey, check it out. Nobody knows what the stock market is gonna do, right? You could be Jimmy Buffett, you could be Warren Buffett. The stock could go up tomorrow, it could go down tomorrow, it could go in fucking circles, right? It's all a fugazi, right? No, those guys that are in Wall Street, those fucking analysts, they're fugazi, man. They're just, it's the same shit. They don't know what the fucking stock is gonna do. I can look at. I'm an analyst right now. I'm gonna put my fucking analyst hat on, right? Tesla's 167. I sense weakness. Price point's $105. There, I just gave it a price point of $105. Elon Musk doesn't have to like it, but I just put my analyst hat on and I gave it a price point. So now it's like I think it could go from 167 to 105. Like anybody can do that, right? But it would be disingenuous of me to say, 21, 80 to 23. Okay, I can say that because that's what the graph shows, right? But nobody really knows. So what I can say is it's 2180 right now for a fact. For a fact. And what I can say is you can buy at 2180 and sell 2250s for October and bring in $2-3. Get taken out at 2250, right? You bought 2180, you're making what? $75, whatever, right? $100. And you're making $3-4 in profit, $2-3 in profit. It runs. Let's say Unity decides to run and it goes to 24.25. Then you can roll your 2250s to 25s in January and bring in another dollar. What did you just do? You just made $350 out of thin air. And that's what we do as option sellers. That's what we do. We take what the market gives us, right? Now we all are aware of the RSIs and when a market's oversold, undersold, a specific security, right? But nobody really knows. There's some shares of, I don't know, SoFi. They was super oversold at some point, and it just kept selling. And sometimes it was like overbought, and people kept buying. It's just take what the market gives you. That's the best advice I can give you, right? And don't be scared to get taken out. I mean, what's the problem if you get taken out and you make money? Nothing. That's why you're in the market, right? To make money. Anyhow, all right, guys, I'm gonna be signing out, man. I have to go downstairs. I can hear my kids rumbling right now. My wife yelling at them, so I'm probably gonna cut it a little short now. I'm probably gonna go over a couple of others, but the week ahead, I sense some weakness. Obviously I can be wrong, But if SoFi jumps, I say to like the 7:30 area, 7:20, 7:30 area on Monday, don't be afraid to sell some cover calls, man. Go to August, go to September, October, because you can always buy back, right? It's that simple. Don't be scared to get taken out, because if you're making money, what difference does it make? And then you could just then, reevaluate once you get all that pile of cash, and you can sell some cash secure puts and keep beating that fucking horse until it gives you something, right? Same thing with Unity, Tesla, Roblox, C3.ai. All these are good companies, good fundamentals, great leadership. But it's just, the market is where the market is. And we may want it to be, elsewhere, but let's take what it gives us and make some money. Anyways, that's what I got for you guys today, man. Thank you for watching. I'm the Credit Savage. Give them nothing. Sell your covered calls, cash secure puts, and just let them assign you. Dare the market to take you out. Sell your SoFi 8s. Dare them to take you out. Take $1 premium. Take $2, $3 premium. Big chunks. Big chunks. Make that money real, so that you can use that money to go somewhere for the summer with your sweetie, right? So you can buy your kids some nice clothes, so you can send them to soccer camp, or to tennis camp, baseball camp, or so you go see a baseball game with your family. Go to see a baseball game. Go see some basketball games. That's what the money's for. You're not gonna take it with you when you die, man. Let me tell you right now. You're not taking all that money with you. So you might as well use it to your advantage, and then have some cool things that you can do, making that money right now. Make it tangible. Buy yourself those, if you're a lady, buy yourself those, pretty heels you've been looking at that are $300-400. Those Louboutins, right? Buy yourself that Chanel purse with the cover call money. If you're a guy, you want to buy that Rolex, right? Like Birdie did. You want to buy, a nice watch. Go right ahead and do it, man. You have one life, right? One life is all we get. One go ahead, and that's it, man. Put some money into your, into your principal or your house, right? Get the interest rates down. It's gonna alleviate a lot of headaches. Pay your rent with that money. You make it tangible. Make it do some shit, so that it can make sense to you. The stress that you sometimes feel, when life is happening and you're like, oh my God, all this shit is happening with the covered calls. It's really confusing and stressful. Make that stress, be worth something, right? Take a trip somewhere, man. Like, I really want to hear about you guys, being in Japan, trading in Tokyo while you like fucking, have like some sake and some sushi from Tsukiji Market, right? Go to fucking Madrid and trade while you're eating tapas and drinking a beer, or a caña, as they call it over there. And some fucking, some shrimp, some of the most delicious fucking shrimp you'll ever have are in Madrid. But you need to go there first, and you need to figure it out. Go to Thailand. Go to Soy 6, Soy 5. If you're a single guy, trust me, you want to go there. Make it tangible, right? Go to Vietnam. Fucking go and eat some of the most delicious food you'll ever have in your fucking life. Some of the best French bread I had in my life was in fucking Ho Chi Minh City. Some of the best food I've ever had. The best coffee in my life, I had in Ho Chi Minh City, right outside of the Versace store in the financial district. Some lady in like this little GoPed, motorbike came in. She had a cooler in the back, and she made, there was this huge line from all these places like, Chanel, Versace, and so on and so forth. The workers from those places would make this huge line to where this lady was, because guess what? For a quarter, for 25 American, okay, which is expensive over there, she would sell you Vietnamese coffee. Over there's coffee, right? But it was so fucking strong, yet it was silky smooth. It had notes of like chocolate and like cacao, and it was bitter but sweet, and it was tangy, refreshing, yet I bold and it's just fuck. I can't even describe to you the deliciousness that this coffee. It's like I've never experienced that ever again, you know. But it's like if I wouldn't have been in Vietnam, I would have never experienced that. And my wife experienced that with me, and we talked about it. We still talk about that coffee to this day. You know, that can be you. You can make money tangible. You know, go to fucking Vietnam. Go to Costa Rica. Some of the best beaches in the world are in Costa Rica, and you could walk literally a mile, like you know, down like the fucking beach, and the beach will stay at this level, like chest level. It's crazy, and like you'll, it's such a beautiful place that you can leave your backpack like on the beach and not worry about it. You know who may go into your fucking backpacks? The monkeys. There's monkeys in that area that'll go and fucking try to get food out of your backpack. It's a protected area. You know, so there's beaches that like they have monkeys all over the place, and you can go and hike. And you know, I've been to Panama, and I had the best ceviche in my life. If you like seafood, fucking Panama is beautiful and insane, and it has so many places that have such good food. Did you guys know that the oldest Chinatown in the Western Hemisphere is actually Panama, in Panama City? Yes, it's not New York City. It's not, you know, America. It's actually Panama. You know, so anyways, I guess I'm just saying that, you know, you guys go to Mexico and have some real tequila in like fucking Jalisco, Mexico. You know, you go to Mexico City and see the nightlife and eat some amazing food, you know. Make your cover calls tangible, right? Buy that pair of shoes that you've been wanting to buy for a long time. Just buy them. Cover call money, baby. You know, if you're a woman and you've been looking at that dress, you know, it's like that's $500, $1,000, and you're like, you know, it's never gonna be the right time, right? It's never gonna be like you never can justify, you know, spending $1,000. Like I could never justify spending fucking $1,000 in a meal with my wife until I spend $1,000 on a meal with my wife for her birthday. We went to Atelier Cran, right? It's this chef Dominique Cran. She has that was her first restaurant that she opened, and this was like several years ago. But um, it was a really, you know, busy month. I had not seen my wife, girlfriend then, right? I had never really seen her for like a month because I was so busy with work, and then it was her birthday, and I was like, you know what, fuck that. I made reservations at this place because I heard that she was amazing, and I'd seen her in the Food Network, and I was like, she has skills, right? I made a reservation, went in, and I paid, you know, the wine pairing with the cheese, and like there was like 25 fucking, you know, courses, small courses. Don't think it's fucking a lot, but it, you know, it has 3 Michelin stars for a reason now, and I was there. You know, my fucking my sparkling water cup, it never went below halfway. There was somebody, a waiter for my fucking water. There was a waiter for my wife's water. There was a waiter for my napkin. There was a waiter for like my main entree. There was a waiter for my dessert. There was a waiter there for the waiter. There was there's the amount of care. It's the best meal we've had probably in our lives, and it's just the service was impeccable. You know, every wine pairing was sublime. The food was amazing. My wife, she hated clams and seafood, right? And Chef Dominique Cran made her like some type of clam, and she, I don't know what she did to it, but my wife had it, and ever since then she eats fucking oysters now because it's like that was such a it was such an amazing thing It was such a great feat, right? That like it just changed her perspective, and that's what an amazing meal would do to you in your perspective in things. It makes you say, "Hey, what the fuck have I been doing?" You know, it's like it opens up like another door, right? And not just I'm just using food as an example, but it could be anything, right? It could be like, I never thought that I would take some UFC class, some MMA classes. Take those MMA classes. Learn how to fucking, break someone's fucking arm if they fucking, trying to do you harm, right? Take some boxing classes. Take some fucking sushi making classes. Go to the sushi restaurant that you've been wanting to go to for a long time. I don't know, man. I know I'm going on a rant here, but like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, use that money that you guys are generating with cover calls, for something tangible, not just buying stock. I mean, I buy stock with back all the time, and then I buy it when it's cheap. But I also take, a nice percentage out, and I just put it aside, and I'm gonna send my kid to like soccer camp, right? And I'm gonna use cover call money for that. I'm gonna send, my other kid, to MMA, little camp, and so I'm making that money tangible, right? I'm probably gonna fix something around the house. There's some areas of the house that need, a little tender loving care, and I'm gonna pay with fucking cover call money. So it's like it's there. Use it. You know your finances best. Anyhow, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your day and listening to me rant, man. And do know that I do have the best of intentions, the best of intentions for you guys. And don't give them nothing, man. Give them nothing. Take everything from them. Don't be scared to get taken out. Fuck that. Let them take you out. Take all that premium and then sell some cash at your puts and start over. All right. What do we have? We got to take it all and leave nothing. That's right. Chart looks at its all-time low. Yeah, in Unity it is. Steve Jackson, take all, leave nothing. Yeah, Mike Hill might be the time. It is, bro. It's fire. Mike Hill, if Tyson had an option coach in his corner, be making money writing on SoFi. Yeah, man, SoFi. I'm telling you, people keep saying now the SoFi, cover call premiums are not good. It's like, what the fuck do you want? The shit was just $4. It's at $7. Keep taking that premium. Even if it's 3-4%, 5%, it's still more than the fucking banks will give you. Because if you keep writing, right? You keep writing. At some point, those 3% are going to turn into 6, into 8, into 10. Next thing you know, you made 20, 25% holding SoFi for a year when somebody's dummy has fucking just held SoFi and got nothing to show for. So now you made 25%. You're able to now buy more SoFi, and you could use that 25% to buy more fucking SoFi. So now next time you write on those covered calls, you're not writing on what you have now, but you're writing on 25% more. And that's the name of the game, right? It's like the eighth wonder of the world. Is that you keep stacking, right? Compounding. It's fucking the eighth wonder of the world. Einstein said it for a reason. You keep compounding that shit. And eventually, you'll be like when I hit 100 covered calls for SoFi, I was like, what the fuck? Like, I just, $30,000? You go, fucking what? You get $3 or $2, right, per share on SoFi. You have 10,000 shares. That's $20,000, $30,000. That's a lot of money, man. Anyways, all right. You guys have a good day, man. Really good talking to you guys and reading your comments and giving you guys my opinion. Have a good day tomorrow trading, and hopefully I'll see you guys next Sunday. And give them nothing. Remember, cash is king, yes, but credit is power. I'm the Credit Savage. You guys take care. Peace.